Hi, I'm Steve Bonoff, President of Printing Industry Midwest. We've got a number of people joining us this morning, and so we're going to start in just a minute. I'm going to give everybody just a couple minutes to log on. In the meantime, I thought for those that are on the call, I'd share a couple things that are coming up that are unrelated to the topic. We've got next week, our quarterly Smart Cafe event is going to be on vertical market selling. This is really a passion for me because I think it's a real tool for our print service providers to be channeling their salespeople sometimes more effectively. Now, many of you are doing vertical market strategies, but if you're not, and even if you are, I think you can learn some things. We've got some great research coming down from Key Point Intelligence. So we're really going to share some strategies and some research that shows the benefits of vertical market. And she's going to be really giving a tutorial on how to actually get that done. So you're going to learn what vertical markets are out there, how much print they're actually buying, what types of print they're buying, and how you can take on that as a strategy in your operation to really determine what's the best market fit for you, and then how can you actually internalize it to make that a selling strategy. So make sure you go to PIMW.org events and look up that Smart Cafe event. And then, of course, the Star Awards are not too far behind. That's April 30th, the Hyatt in Minneapolis. We're, of course, going to have a big crowd. It's our #1 event of the year. Got unbelievable submissions this year. It's really going to show you the capabilities of what PIM members can do. And so please take a look at the Star Awards, watch for the invitation in the mail, and we really do hope to see you on April 30th in Minneapolis. So we're going to get underway today, and I'm sure we're recording this, so you'll be able to pass this around to your colleagues at the conclusion. I hope to do this within 35 minutes, just to give you a sense of how much time we should take. If I go a little long, don't shoot me. I can go a little bit long on stuff that I'm passionate about. And I want you to be able to chat in questions. So Ben Daly is from PIM is monitoring, and so chat your questions in anytime, anything that you want me to address, and we'll get that done. The reason why we're here today is this is the #1 issue facing our members today is really how are they going to build effective operations and grow their businesses if they don't have the requisite staff and the skilled staff to get their companies to the next level. And there are almost more than double the number of printers in the United States than there are McDonald's. But I don't need to tell you which one is going to be a better career. So I don't like to think of these as problems. I like to think of them as opportunities. We have an awareness opportunity about our industry, and we have a recruitment opportunity. And PIM is tackling both of those. And so we're going to be talking about some things today about what we're doing on both of those sides, on how are we generating awareness of our industry, what our intentions are, what our strategies. And then we're also going to be talking about the recruitment side. How are we going to help make your company have the right people showing up at your door looking and eager to work? So let's kind of get underway. So I like to call this as in developing the print workforce. And when are we doing it? Well, we're really doing it now. So this is not some things that we're doing off in the future, that this is really opportunities for your company today. Now, there are some things that are not fully baked yet. We'll be talking about those, but they're certainly underway. And how are we doing that? We're doing that through engagement, through a variety of workplace development research that we've done, consultants we have made available to you, through partnerships, and through our new Education Foundation board to provide insight and oversight. And we're doing it with real training, boots on the ground, ways that we're helping build the right competencies for your staff. And through advocacy. So getting that message out there. It's our objective that every high school in the country that is advocating for an opportunity to join a trade will have print in that mix. So we're going to kind of go through each one of these three segments. So the first one I wanted to talk about was engagement. We surveyed our membership well more than a year ago, and this, of course, came up as a critical issue on the workforce side. So we created a workforce beta group of companies. Many of those companies then agreed to join our new PIM Education Foundation board. And you'll see this is a cross-section of small companies and large, different types of print service providers. So we've really got a good group of people to help guide what's much of the work that we're doing. And then we develop partnerships, and we continue to do that. Partnerships going forward are really going to be important for us to actually make some of our engagements really pay off. So we've got partnerships with community partners that we'll be explaining about Avivo and Goodwill and Minneapolis Pathways, many of our Minnesota department agencies, and other local labor experts. And then, of course, school partners is really critical, and we'll talk about some of the school partnerships that we have. So right off the bat, you haven't maybe heard about this for a while. We haven't emailed about it for some time, but this is something that's available to you today. We went out and engaged two local labor experts. Dave Kornecki used to work for my sister when she was in the state Senate as a legislative aide, and then he really helped her develop that Minnesota pipeline project, which has been so successful and that we're now partnering with at PIM. And then Jess Niebuhr is also a very well-regarded local labor expert. And we asked them to do a couple things, to go out and do an assessment of all of the workforce, federal and state programs that are in our region, available to members today. And so they went out and looked at what tax incentives there were, what training programs, grants, economic incentives, what education programs, internships, what apprenticeship opportunities there were. And they cultivated all that, they developed a matrix, and then we published that and made that available to all of our members, and it's all segmented by state. So if you're in Iowa here on this call, you can know that we've got resources specific to you and your state. Some of them are across state lines, and some of them are very much unique to the state opportunities. You can find those if you log on to our Connect system. It's connect.pimw.org. You'll find under communities, we've got many segments of different communities for different topics and disciplines. Human resources has its own area. And under the library, you'll see human resources, workforce development, and you'll see where we've got our workforce incentive programs by state listed here, and you can download them at any time. Now, if you have any problems getting into our Connect system, just email Ben at bdaly@pimw.org, and he'll help you get access. And so the other thing we asked them to do was, once they found all the information about what's going on in all the states, to dive in and understand what our printers can actually use and how they might integrate it into their operation. Because you guys are printers first and foremost, you're not human, workforce development experts. How do you actually take on some of these opportunities? How do you fill out all of the paperwork? How do you go through the bureaucracy that's needed sometimes to get this done? A few of you have really stepped up. A couple examples we'll be using throughout the program. Nahan, I shout out to them in St. Cloud, jumped through a lot of hoops to get an MJSP grant to do some training and development. I mean, that kind of stuff is not easy work, but we've got people here, Jess and Dave, who have done that. They do it for a living, and they will help you move your operation forward and take advantage of some of these opportunities. And so you'll find this all accessible on our website. And then what they do is, if you go ahead and contract with them, it's a very inexpensive, it's a set program for about $600. You get a private consultation. They'll evaluate all the workforce incentives, and then they'll ask, what your situation is, what your needs are, and they'll develop an action plan very specific to you within a couple weeks. If you have any questions about that, you can always contact Chris Davis. She can give you some more details about what that opportunity might be for you. And then really then training is obviously something that we do quite often at PIM. It's one of our core competencies and core reasons why members join. One of the things that I hope that you're aware of is that we have a very robust iLearning center where we've got over 100 hours of video-based training. The vast majority of it is free to members. And that's one of our most important videos is the industry orientation to the graphic arts. It's about a 3-hour program. It's a critical opportunity for your new hires to give them a sense of what industry they have joined. And then it gives them an idea of how they might want to grow into your operation. But then we've got some real skill training with color management and design, a lot of PDF and pre-press and color management work. We do have management courses as well. We've got sales. We also have a customer service certification that there is a fee for that, but it's a terrific opportunity to train your customer service personnel. And we add new programs all the time. We just added a new one on augmented reality and embellished printing. Great new technologies that are sometimes difficult to integrate into your operation. This is a learning tool that can help you do that. Another thing that we're doing is to help you pay for some of this work that we're going to be doing, that we are doing, and that you might find on your own. So we actually worked with the Minnesota Department of Education and Labor to make them aware that the press operator situation in our industry is critical. It's a 58-year-old average age for a press operator. We need to have new people coming in and taking those positions. And it's no secret, those positions in schools the schools are not putting out those types of positions anymore. The lack of graphic communication, production level training and development is really declined dramatically. So we got the state to recognize that press operators is a high value, high wage opportunity. We worked with them with a federal curriculum of training in advanced manufacturing, this particular position. And it was then added to as an opportunity and career in the Minnesota Pipeline program. And so this joins many other career positions that are now made available to you for funding. And I believe it's up to like $6,000 per trainee that you have funds available to you for paying for this education. Now this will tie together with a different training program that we have at PIM that's launching in the next couple months, and that this is going to be an opportunity for you to pay for that. Right now, not as many people are using the pipeline because they don't have the training opportunities, but we're adding that to our arsenal of training, and you'll be able to take advantage of this as a way to pay for it. Another thing that we did is that, again, from an awareness perspective, those organizations that are out there advocating for particular trades, as we all know, the student debt is incredibly high. There's over $1 trillion of student debt in our country. Much of it has just unfortunately not been necessary because many of those people have now gotten jobs in the trade that didn't actually require them accumulating all that debt. So we're trying to get that message out, but those organizations, they're not aware of the print industry. So we're trying to rectify that, with one organization at a time. So we partnered with two organizations that have come together to help bring a variety of different communities in our area here in the Twin Cities into different trades. And so that's Goodwill Easter Seals and Avivo. You can see on the website here, Goodwill has a variety of careers and industries that they advocate for: automotive, banking, construction, etc. And now you'll see that printing is in the mix. So we have made them aware of our industry. We've done a tremendous amount of education. We've done tours in a variety of plants around the community, and they are in love with our industry. They're like, "Wow, I never heard of this. I didn't know this existed." that this is a trade that they really want to advocate for. So that's an exciting development. And so from that partnership, we created a new print-specific pre-employment training class. And this particular mission is to really feed the member need for entry-level employees that have proven their ability and willingness to work. So we went and got a grant from the Minneapolis Pathways organization of about $250,000. I think it might have been a little bit more than that. The grant allowed Goodwill to hire a print industry career specialist, which they have now done. He's Emmanuel on the bottom right of your screen. That's Emmanuel. And then we use those funds to then also develop a printing essentials pre-employment training course. And then that's operated by Avivo, a tremendous organization in our community that's really doing terrific work in getting people a leg up into a variety of different careers. We had our first pre-employment training printing essentials course. It's a 60-hour course that includes soft skills, some OSHA training, some math skills, and an opportunity for us to acquaint these people with our industry, to get them excited to work, and then to prove their ability to work, that they show up for the training and they do what they're being asked to do. And so we had our first course in November. We had 3 graduates. We have a new course that had 8 participants in January. We had a few drop off, unfortunately. We've got a class that's operating right now, and we have another one coming in the coming weeks. So this is going to be a build. We look to be doing this for many years to come. It's going to take some time for people to have an awareness of our industry, but this is an exciting development. And the process is going to be, as they graduate, they will be added to the PIM job board on our website. They'll be noted that they're printing essentials graduates, and they'll be made available to you as they will to everyone when we add them to our PIM job board as potentially hireable. So the next kind of strategy is, all right, so now we might have you interested in joining, or you might have already be on the staff of a print service provider. How are we going to make sure that we're using this opportunity and this relationship to turn someone into a real career, to make sure that they are going to stay employed for many years to come? So this is a training program that we are in development with PIA Mid-America, another one of the PIA affiliates. Ultimately, this will be a national program, but we're beginning to beta test this within our regions, within our 2 affiliate networks. Initially, it's going to be a press technician training program, and then ultimately it will lead towards an apprentice opportunity if that's what you so choose for your operation. It has many components to it. It's addressing the need for the retiring press and binder operators, obviously. It's 2 specific curriculums that we're targeting, both offset press production and bindery production. Those are 2 areas that seem to be of our members most needed. It'll be a 1-year course that'll give you that press technician certification. It'll be a nationally recognized certification. Eventually, as I mentioned, towards perhaps an accredited apprenticeship, if that's what you so choose or they choose. It'll be a 1-year course. It'll be both online and on the job. It's a curriculum that we're in the midst of developing right now. And we have a learning management system that we're developing that's going to house it. And then it'll be included uniquely a train the trainer program, because it's really critical that we don't throw people out into a print operation and that they don't have the requisite hand-holding that is really going to be required to make sure that they understand the components within the curriculum and how to advance. And so we'll be training your supervisors that you designate as being train the trainers, or as trainers, and we will certify them in their ability to deliver this training. And as I mentioned, it's going to be housed in a state-of-the-art learning management system. We're building it. It's from a company out of Seattle. It's really going to be a top-notch tool for you to walk both your students as well as your supervisors through to manage all of that effectively, and to make sure that you are, as supervisors and leaders and human resource leaders, monitoring the activities of your students. And then it's also going to be housed in with a recruitment advocacy program called Print is Everywhere. Because we don't want to just train our incumbent workers, we've got to bring new people into the industry and help them discover print, that print is really more than they know. So I want to kind of get into that advocacy section, that this Print is Everywhere campaign is really designed to fill that print employee pipeline. It has a lot of components to it. We're just getting off the ground. This will be a multi-year program that, as a call I had yesterday, is going to be an international program, because we've got partners now in the UK who want to also take this Print is Everywhere brand and extend it across the globe. So it's really designed to do the two things that I said were really both most importantly needed in the industry, and that's industry awareness and develop careers. And the objective is really to tell career seekers that print is more than they know. So it's a really cool program. That is, it's led by volunteers, Sean Duda from Stout and Dan Munzer from TLMI, and we partnered with the Graphic Communications School of Scottsdale, the Community College of Scottsdale, and their students and leader, Peggy Deal. And then our special consultant and mentor has been Daniel Dijon. Many of you might know Danielle from SAPI. And it's really designed to promote the convergence of the print industry. So you're not going to find this is just a commercial sheet fed, because that's the problem, right? We have all these associations and companies labeling themselves as I'm a commercial printer, or I'm a packager, or I'm a tag and label, and these are resources for those specific silos, when it doesn't tell the real story of print. So this brings 6 primary platforms of print under one umbrella: the commercial, packaging, tag and label, grand format, promotional, and industrial, and tells the story of each one of these industries, and it all kind of converges it under one umbrella. And when you do that, it's a real dynamic story. It includes a series of booklets and presentation materials to help you, a print advocate, and me effectively tell the positive stories of print. And it's designed by students at the Scottsdale Graphic Communications School of Visual Communications. So it's really designed by Gen Z, as well as for Gen Z. The brochure, this is an example of wide format. All the imagery, I think is really cool. Like, it's going to look a little bit different than what you're seeing here. For example, it'll have quite a lot of embellishment on it. The print is exciting. Panel here will actually be in foil color. And for example, in this case, we're having students, career seekers, really witness the significance around them, that this is the print industry, that they might just not recognize it as such. And then in each one of the brochures, we're going to tell the story of how those particular parts of that industry are affecting them today in ways that they might not know, whether it's billboards or building wraps or vehicle wraps or street signs. And each one of the brochures has some really interesting components of things that you just might not know. And we do the same for each one of the industries. Here's packaging, to dare to think outside the box. The tag and label industry, to telling a story that sticks. For the print, the promotional and the textile industry, about saying who you are without having to speak. Each one is, again, going to tell a story, and that's really how millennials and Gen Z really take in information today in a way that really sticks, is when you can tell a story effectively. We do the same with industrial, making sure that each one of these, of course, in this one, there's a lot of cool stuff going on. We've got cool, high-tech, advanced manufacturing in all of these areas. And so we're highlighting those to make sure that people know that this is high-tech, advanced manufacturing, and it's something that they need to recognize. And of course, we have commercial print and really the undeniable power of paper and ink. and we're telling that story in a very unique way. And of course, importantly, sustainability. This is a critical part to anybody who's looking for a career at that age, of a Gen Z age, is they want to feel good about the careers that they take. And there are many sustainable stories around our industry. There's more trees in the United States today than in 1970 on the first day of Earth Day. So you can understand that we have a renewable response to going green. We're going to tell that story as well. And then hopefully once we've got their interest, we're going to help them take that interest towards a career in print. So each one of the kits that we're producing is going to have a career guide that conveys kind of the what, the how, and the whys of a career in print. It's split into 3 categories: production, creative, technical. Talks about the types of positions within those categories, as well as how much you can make, what the schooling is required, and where you can go for more information. And it's all going to be packaged in a custom printed box, which is super cool, and it's going to have stickers in it as well, which I think is going to be a lot of fun. And so those stickers will be packaged within the box as well. And then, of course, this is not just a print campaign. It has to be integrated in cross-media, and it will be. There will be a style guide that will be both PDF and in print. There'll be video. We have a new video up, but I'm not prepared to show it today, but we'll have that out to you very soon. And then there's going to be, ways that we interact with career counselors. So my hope, every career counselor in every high school in the country someday will have a Print is Everywhere roll top banner available to them, as well as with all the literature, and part of their curriculum in explaining trades is going to include print. That's our objective. And then, of course, the website itself is going to have a lot more value. So, we're working with organizations so that when high schools want to be part of the Print is Everywhere, they'll be logging onto our website. They'll be making sure that they're connected, that we then have advocates who are going to connect with that particular high school and make sure that their education is added, and that print is a conversation within that high school. So we have a lot of tools and technologies that we're working with that will make our website as a communication tool to connect job seekers with those that have it. And we have a lot of partners that we're working on. We've got graphic communication school programs. We've got partnerships with the Minnesota Department of Education and Development. Print Ed, if you're aware of that, is about 110 high schools around the country that have certified within a particular print curriculum. All of them will be within our network that will be working to educate and making sure that they have this Print is Everywhere education and strategy. There's a national workforce coalition of about 50 companies that I made several presentations to, and they're all on board. We had a survey out in the marketplace, and we've had over commitments to 2,500 kits so far that people are looking forward to getting out into their communities. So we have a variety of partnerships, and I mentioned I just added our new BritishPrint.com partner that's going to be helping take on Print is Everywhere in the UK. So how can you get involved? Well, we want to make sure you're aware of it. You can register your interest right now at printiseverywhere.org. You'll be redirected to our website right now. It'll be another month or so until we get our website up and running. But we'd like your support in making sure that the high schools in your area are on our list, and that you might be able to champion them yourself, but we'll make sure that we get out to a high school near you. So we need to know who they are. And so please go ahead and chat in whatever comments you have. There's an opportunity, there's a chat box on the printiseverywhere.org for you to just type in whatever high school, or just bring that information with you, whenever the Print is Everywhere campaign launches, and then make sure you communicate to us. Or take one of the kits and let us know before you go to the high school, so we can know that you're out there advocating for print. So what's next? We have a lot of plans for creating an independent trading facility. As I mentioned, NAHAN is up in St. Cloud, got an MGSP grant, which is a partnership with the state of Minnesota where you have a training need. You find a school or an accredited education facility to help you develop that training and turn it into a curriculum and then a process for educating your staff. They award up to $400,000 for the development of that training. Those funds go to the school, and you benefit by having all of that education paid for. And that's education to really designed to meet your specific educational needs. So we're looking right now for up to 5 print service providers who want to sign on with us to help us collectively develop an independent training facility so we can do some of this training on our own. And so if you have if you have interest in that conversation, reach out to Chris Davis at PIM, and she'd love to speak with you about how we're going to be developing and hopefully achieving our own Minnesota Job Skills Partnership Grant at PIM. There's a couple of other opportunities that we've got. There's a Careers in Print informational sessions for career seekers that we're doing. It's for Career Force North and South. These are local education facilities that are really advocating for a variety of industries. They're going to be advocating for us, and that's going to be at Career Force North in Minneapolis on the 26th of March and Career Force South on May 20th. So as a print service provider, you can have a tabletop, you can be talking about potential jobs to a variety of career seekers. There are some opportunities to join a panel if you're so interested, or you can just show up for the networking, but they're free to attend, and we'd love to have you participate, and you can find out more how to register at pimw.org/events. Another kind of what's next is for our first annual HR conference. So this is an exciting event that we put together. It's going to be May 12th. We're going to be doing here in our building, so that'll help everybody kind of keep the cost down to well under $200 to attend. It includes breakfast and lunch and an afternoon reception. We have a great keynote speaker on how to deal with difficult people. I never have to deal with that, but some of you might. The multi-generational workplace, of course, is an issue that's top of mind for everyone. We're going to have a variety of sponsors who will be talking about some of how their companies can help you actually support in some of these issues. We'll be having labor and employment law, and then we'll have a great panel of a variety of HR executives talking about the real-world issues that they're addressing today. And then we'll have another panel on some very specific strategies on how to develop talent in your operation. And then, as I mentioned, there'll be a mixture and opportunity to connect with your colleagues. So I really hope you join us. Again, it's pimw.org/events, and it's the HR conference in May. Want to open it up to any questions to see if we have any. As I said, it'd be about 35 minutes. That's pretty good, especially since I didn't even do a run through. So Ben, are there any questions? Anybody chime in with anything? You're on mute if you're talking. All right. Let me just go here to see if I see any questions. Yeah, is there a discussion of adding Flexo to the training program?
I answered it, Steve.
Oh, I'm sorry. Say that. Hey, Chris, say it again.
I answered that for Michelle Wrench.
Oh, okay, got it. Very good. What did you say?
Well, what I said was that currently the plans are with just the press and bindery technician, but that we have someone in town that handles training in the Flexo area called Flexotech, and I provided her information to that organization.
Terrific. Yeah, I mean, the online program and the training programs that we'll be doing on the job, what we're doing right now is building the infrastructure and just starting with this press production and this press technician position. We absolutely have many intentions to be adding to that over time. Once we have the infrastructure, it will be much easier to continue to add content and curriculum. And so I'm looking forward to seeing a variety of different ways that we're going to be doing that. I'd like to be doing a lot of soft skill training as well. So yeah, definitely watch for other, and especially wide format. You know, we have a new partnership with SGIA. We need to be in the wide format training, as well as even for our commercial side, who are really adding wide format. We need to be doing more wide format education. And you'll see that as part of our upcoming learning management system training program.
Yes, we plan to go press specific in the future. So we'll be looking for subject matter experts in all areas to help us develop training beyond the press technician and bindery technician. Currently, right now, there's really nothing in place. And so hopefully we will be the center where printers all over will be able to find their needs met, but it will take time. And Steve, there was another question from Michelle about the HR conference, asking who we would recommend to attend. And we would recommend both business owners as well as HR professionals attend together. We feel that everyone in the hierarchy at your organization will benefit by going to this HR conference, and you can learn things together so you can move how you want to operate your company and all kind of be in agreement as to how that is moving forward.
And I would just add to that it's almost always a resource issue. And so, your HR directors are great implementers, but they don't always have access to the resources to make that possible. So it is absolutely critical that the business owner really understand so they can direct the requisite resources that the HR professional needs to get that job done. Another question I see was really about the print is everywhere distribution. We're going to be communicating that very clearly. It's still gelling a little bit. We've got a number of companies who have said they're going to be providing funds to us. So it's ultimately, we're going to be having a number of kits made available for free. And that our education foundation at PIM is going to be buying a certain number. And then in addition to that, we will be making available on our website an e-commerce platform. It's going to be operated by a print service provider. They're putting it into their doc shop, and we will be selling access to the kits as well as the presentation materials. So we're going to be making available a number of kits for free, but you can imagine we're probably not going to give away the big banners and that kind of stuff for free. You will be able to buy them certainly at a very reduced cost, and because we're getting great deals from companies who want to support the effort. So it won't be a lot of money, but we will be making you available to you of how you can get them over in the coming weeks. Certainly by the Star Awards, we better have them. That's my objective. But we'll be making that information available as soon as we have it. Any other chatted in questions? Or Chris, anything that I might have missed?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. All right, well, thank you all so much for coming. You have our emails, and let us know if there's anything else we can do for you. If you've expected something here today that you want to address that wasn't, please let us know. We want to help and see what else we can do to help you build the next generation print workforce. Thanks very much, everybody.